Lucille Ball's son became a father at 15. Desi Arnaz Jr. made his screen debut at 4. He appeared on his parents' show, I Love Lucy. A few years later, he was in The Lucy Show. Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz's son grew up fast. This wasn't always a good thing. Desi grew up having a severe identity crisis. His mother and father played a married couple. On the show they had a son, little Ricky, but he was not played by the real-life son. It was hard for little Desi to grasp.
I had this identity problem,
he admitted.
It wasn't helped by people calling me Little Ricky, a name I learned to despise. I remember wanting rather desperately to be better at something, anything, than the boy who played Little Ricky. For a while, it seemed as if everything in my life was connected to Little Ricky's.
Desi began abusing drugs when he was a teenager. He paid doctors to write him prescriptions. At 15, Desi hooked up with model Susan Callahan Howe. She was also 15. Desi broke up with her before he learned of her pregnancy. He went on to date actress Patty Duke. Desi was 17 and she was 23. He accompanied Duke to the 1970 Emmy Awards. This became huge tabloid news. Lucille Ball disapproved of the relationship. Things got worse when Duke became pregnant. They broke up. Music producer Michael Tell offered to marry Patty Duke. This was the only way to avoid scandal. That marriage lasted only 13 days. Duke had a son, Sean Astin. She later told him that Desi Arnaz was his biological father. Arnaz and Astin developed a close relationship. Genetic tests later revealed that his father was actually Michael Tell. After Duke, Desi hooked up with Liza Minnelli. His mother was outraged. Ball thought that Minnelli was too old for her son. Minnelli was 26, 7 years older than Arnaz. He announced his engagement to her. He accompanied her to the Oscars ceremony in 1973. But a couple of months later, Minnelli broke off the engagement. Desi Arnaz Jr. married actress Linda Pearl in 1979. She filed for divorce just a few months later. The reason was Desi's substance abuse.
Drugs were taking over my life,
he admitted later.
At 18, I had already experimented with LSD, mescaline, cocaine, quaaludes, and marijuana. By 23, I was out of control. I couldn't maintain a relationship with anyone.
Fortunately, Desi managed to get clean. In 1987, he married Amy Laura Bargiel. They settled in Boulder City, Nevada, and had a daughter, Haley. In 1991, Desi learned that Haley wasn't his first daughter. Julia Howe, Susan's daughter, found him. He refused to acknowledge her at first, but a paternity test was conclusive. Julia and Desi have grown close since then. She changed her last name from Howe to Arnaz. He paid for her daughter's college. He also helped Julia go through rehab several times. In Julia's own words,
"My father has stepped up to the plate, and we are working on a strong and healthy relationship now."
Amy Arnaz died of cancer in 2015, aged 63. Julia's daughter Desiree died of cancer in 2020, aged 31. Now Julia and Desi rely on each other for support.